So it's finished at Goodison Park, Everton nil, Arsenal nil, and as you can see, I'm at home sitting on my couch, and I'm so glad that I didn't make the journey to Goodison Park because it was an awful game of football, and I take my hat off to those who now have to embark on that long, long journey back to North London. It's a really, really long way, and the game in truth lacked quality from the off. Freddie Ljungberg, of course, opting to go with youth, Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka all started the game. And, Everton were poor on the day as well. And I think that's why we got away with it in many ways. But, I'm going to go through a few performances because there were a few decent performances in the Arsenal team today. And I thought the centre-halves done a lot better than they have done in recent weeks. Again, admittedly, Everton were not at their very best, and you've got to take that into consideration. I thought the fullbacks did okay. Bukayo Saka, for me, when he's played at left back, has looked okay, actually. That's not to say that I believe he's a long-term solution for that position. I'd still pick Kolasinac ahead of him or Kieran Tierney ahead of him in that position for the time being. But he's done well, and he's shown that he's quite versatile, which is important. Gabriel Martinelli showed injury. I was going to say injury. He picked up an injury in the first half, but he showed that enthusiasm and energy again without it being his best day in an Arsenal shirt. But two players I was really, really disappointed with actually were Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for the time that he was on the pitch and Reece Nelson. I just felt like there was no movement. I felt like Emil Smith-Rowe was having an off day as well. The three of them just didn't give us enough. And I thought that when we did get the ball into forward positions, the movement wasn't there. There was a lack of sharpness. I don't know what it's down to. Maybe, for the likes of Nelson, not enough game time of late, etc. Aubameyang, of course, he's often on the peripheries of a game, but then he pops up with a goal. But today never looked like doing that. Looked a little bit disinterested to me, and I know there's speculation about his future at the moment. I don't really want to add to that because we don't know that's having an impact on him for sure, but he certainly doesn't look like he's at the races at the moment. Look, Ljungberg obviously preferred to go with the youngsters. He felt that was the right thing to do today, and fair enough, it's his last game. Today was almost a bit of a free hit. It's a weird feeling because whilst we're nowhere near where we need to be in the Premier League, I think everybody recognised that, we start fresh against Bournemouth. This is a game that just came around way too soon for Mikel Arteta. We'd have liked to have gotten the deal done earlier in the week, but of course there were issues with that. The negotiations with Manchester City hit a few bumps in the road, and therefore we had to wait until yesterday to see him appointed. So it was too late for him to take over, of course. But he'll be watching that and thinking, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm sure he knew that before he took the job. I'm sure he was well aware of what he was walking into. But his press conference gave us a lot of hope. He said all the right things. We'll be dropping another piece of content earlier in the week about Mikel Arteta in more detail. But yeah, overall, it was a poor game from both sides. Neither side performed. Neither side wanted to get beat. Arsenal's first clean sheet in 15 games, which is huge. So yeah, some credit's got to go to the defenders. Callum Chambers in particular. David Luiz was okay in the second half. In the first half, I thought he had a few not poor moments, but he kept giving free kicks away, and that's a sign of a defender that keeps getting caught out, in my opinion. If you have to keep making those fouls, it shows that people get in the wrong side of you. People have got the beating of you. So that was really, really frustrating in the first half, but pleasing to see that Arsenal fixed that in the second half. And I thought Arsenal looked a bit more threatening in that second period as well. Again, not anywhere near the levels we expect. But look, ultimately, when you've been on the run of form that we have, if you go to Goodison Park and you get a draw, it's not to be sniffed at, and we should take that and we should move on. And they're, of course, going to move on from Duncan Ferguson as well. Carlo Ancelotti was there today, the man that I wanted initially at Arsenal. But Mikel Arteta's press conference went a long way in winning me over. Look, he will know that this is a huge, huge task, and he'll be getting to work straight away, I'm sure. So yeah, fingers crossed he can get it right. He can start to put us on the right path. We've recognised this is going to take time, but if we can see a plan, if we can see a philosophy and an end goal in sight, then we'll take that. that's it for me today. Just a brief post-match reaction video. We'll be back, of course, with the full-length podcast coming to you on Monday or Tuesday this week. We normally do them on Tuesdays, but we might get it out to you a little bit early, depending on how work things go. Really, really close to 4,000 subscribers, by the way, on this YouTube channel. So please do, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share, spread the word, and we'll be back very soon with more. Cheers.